Good afternoon, Delhi. Good afternoon. The energy in this room is phenomenal. I was seeing it from the sides, but are you ready to take it up a notch? Can we take the energy up even more? Let's do it, folks. Big thank you to Satya. Incredible announcements and commitments. And the commitments that Satya announced are more than capital. They are our commitment to India. They're our commitment to moving India forward. And we are so excited about that. So we'll get started, and I'll start where Satya left us, our mission. Our mission in India, our mission in the world. We do well when the world around us succeeds. Technology works well when the world around us succeeds, when India succeeds. That's our goal. For us at Microsoft, it's never just about technology. It's about what people do with technology, what each one of you do with technology. India's advantage will not just come from frontier innovation. We'll obviously innovate like nobody else can, but it'll come from rapid diffusion across classrooms to boardrooms, and India is already doing that. And we at Microsoft are so proud. We are so humbled to stand tall as partners with India to power 1 billion dreams and make this AI reality a reality for India. We truly want to be co-pilots to India's AI transformation. That's our mission. That's why we get up in the morning and show up every day. So before I talk about how we're going to make this mission real, I thought I'll give you a sense of where the world is. Before I dial the clock back forward, let's talk about where the world is today. And I went to my co-pilot. I said, OK, let's look at the last 20 years of how the world is shaped up, what's happening in the world today. But take the lens of books and authors and give me a sense of how the world is moving. If you remember 5th April 2005, Thomas Friedman wrote the book, The World is Flat. We genuinely felt the world is flat. The factories were humming and code was flowing across borders, to today, where the world seems very different. The world seems unfamiliar. Yuval Noah Harari is now saying that the world has never looked this confused before. Right? So what a change from the world is flat to a world that looks very different. And there are two macro forces at play. First is geopolitics, that we're all trying to get our heads around and make sense of it. Second is AI, folks. We have the largest infrastructure build-out happening in the world today with AI capacity. And the same is happening in India as well. So that's something that we're all super excited about. Deep learning with these models is a gift that keeps giving. So these models are getting smarter and cheaper every day. Right? So those two forces coming together, geopolitics and AI, are making this world look really unfamiliar. And that's what I call the world is rearranging itself. I think the aspiration here should not be to fight this world. The aspiration has to be to understand how this world is working, because it's refusing to play by the rules that we are used to. It's refusing to play by the rules that we are used to. So why are we here today? And to navigate this unfamiliar world, I thought I'll do 3 things. I'll talk about frontier AI. I'll give you my 5 predictions on AI. I will provoke you. I might be wrong, but I will make you think differently. I'll talk about frontier India. What is India really doing with AI? And Satya spoke about this, but we are laying the tracks today before the rails come in with our AI infrastructure. We're diffusing AI from classrooms to boardrooms, and I'll talk about some stories that we should all celebrate. And then finally, I'll talk about frontier firms. How are businesses in India today making this magic happen? How are they making AI real every day? And that's something that we should celebrate. And I'll also tell you the how behind it. How are they doing it? I'll give you the secret sauce, if you will. So let's get going. Sam Harris had this fascinating quote. He said, intelligence is a beautiful property given only to humans. Intelligence is a beautiful property given only to humans. I loved Sam Harris, but he was wrong. Intelligence is not just a property given only to humans. For the first time in human history, we now have the ability to manufacture intelligence. Compute or log of compute is becoming intelligence, folks. Compute is becoming cognition. And that's a very, very interesting world. We're entering a new reality today, folks. Like today, if you have to put intelligence to work at your business, at your program, at whatever you're doing, how do you do this? You get a bunch of people together, fully loaded cost, team, manager, get them to work on the problem. That's how we operate today. That's how we put intelligence to work. In this new world, it'll be very different. In this new world, you'll buy intelligence like you buy any other commodity. Intelligence will move from a scarce, expensive, difficult commodity to something that's abundant, something that's cheap. Imagine a world where you're sitting in this room a couple of years down the line, and there's a plug in the wall behind you, and you can plug yourself in and get 50 IQ points. Would you do that? Somebody like me would really do that. But folks, that's the world we're entering. And this world where we have access to unmetered intelligence is a very different world. It changes everything, folks. It changes the economics of our businesses. It changes how we run businesses. It changes what it means to be a business or a government or a policy maker today in the world. So my 5 predictions, if you're moving to this unmetered intelligence world, a world where we have access to intelligence like a socket on the wall, how would the world look different? I'll give you 5 predictions. Number 1, we're all used to physical colleagues at work. We're all used to physical colleagues around us. We will move to a world where digital colleagues will join the workforce. None of us will be alone in the workforce. Digital colleagues will work with us. And with this new generation of agents that we're building, we're making these LLMs and these models useful for you by building this next generation of agents, which have 3 things. They have perception. They see everything that you see. They have cognition. They have intelligence. And they have agency. They act with your permission, but not your involvement. That's the next generation of agents we're building, folks. They're autonomous. They can goal seek in an unstructured environment for you, come back to you and say, hey, boss, I've got something useful for you. And believe me, that's priceless. Once you see that at work, once you see these autonomous agents at work, you will never go back. The real unlock for AI will come, folks, when it'll move from the tool on your phone. And I can promise you 90% of the people today feel it's a tool on your phone, when it moves from a tool on your phone to a teammate, to a colleague. So that's the first thing, folks. We'll have digital colleagues amplifying us and joining the workforce. Do you remember Batman? Any Batman fans here? OK, Bhaskar is one. But do you remember bat signal? Gotham City used to put the bat signal in the sky and say, listen, Batman, come help us. Today's businesses, the next generation of businesses today in India, are sending another bat signal. They're all looking for AI infrastructure. I remember early days of cloud. Every conversation with startups and new businesses used to be, which cloud do I build on? Now the conversation is, what model do I build on? What API do I start working with? First dollars of every business used to go to servers and database and storage. Now they're going to GPUs and APIs and inference. Whoever wins the first developer API call now will build the next hyperscaler, if you will. So that's the second one. This is another interesting one, folks. I call this the inefficiency economy, and I'm saying businesses will be built on AI infra, but what would they build on? Where is the TAM? The TAM will come when we move from this inefficiency economy that we are all used to an outcome economy. Trillion-dollar industries today are built today on this inefficiency economy. Think about this. The longer it takes, the more money your lawyer makes. The longer it takes, the more money your IT services partner makes. The longer it takes, the more money the consultant makes. That model is broken, folks. And AI will end this charade. Because AI doesn't bill hours, it gives you outcomes. If the AI can draft your legal document in 15 seconds, they will not be able to charge you by the hour. Right? So this inefficiency economy, moving to an outcome economy, is something that will, and we'll enter a world of microtransactions. You'll go to an AI agent and say, listen, I need my next quarter forecast. And the model will say, it'll be $20, let's get it done. Right? So no more billing hours. Satya spoke about this. We spoke about sovereignty at the country level, sovereignty at the business level. But folks, if the model eventually knows everything, what does your business know? What do you know? And if you look at the pace of these models, if the model eventually knows everything, what do you know? Right? And that's where I think sovereignty for your own business, building your own agent factory, building your own AI factory is something that will become very, very real. Right? A model, a foundation model for your business that celebrates your knowledge, celebrates your IP, and compounds it is something what companies and businesses will stand for, not just the public models that we're working on. My 5th prediction, this is a question I'm asked all the time. Will AI steal jobs? I don't think AI will steal jobs. It'll dissect them. It'll unbundle them. And by the way, all our jobs are a bundle of tasks. My job is a bundle of tasks. Your job is a bundle of tasks. When AI unbundles your job, that's when life becomes very interesting, folks. When AI unbundles our jobs, we need to bundle ourselves much better. AI will truly dissect these jobs. And it'll force us to be much better. We're all living with this industrial age era template. My grandfather lived with it. My father lived with it. I'm almost living with it, which is you learn once and you earn for the rest of your life. Learning used to be, and I remember my dad used to say, learning used to be like building a house and living in it forever. That's the world we're used to. That industrial age era template is breaking, folks. Learning now is like planting your tent wherever the opportunity is. Learning is like cardio. You do it every day, folks. It's not the marathon once in a year. If you're not learning every day, you will be behind. The real pink slip in this AI world will not be automation, folks. That's what we're all worried about. It'll be our refusal to learn. Learning is the only oxygen mask, folks. And if you're not learning, if there's one thing I can leave you with today, if you're not learning every day about this technology, you will be behind. So don't do that. So those are my 5 predictions. Let's talk about India, folks. And AI is not just a technology shift for India. We all know this. It's an economic, social, generational shift for our country. Massive transformation opportunity for all of us. And I've always believed that tracks comes before trains. Everybody believes tracks come before trains. But India is laying the tracks before the trains, if you will. If skilling is the oxygen mask for all of us, the digital rails in India are the oxygen tank for India. A nation becomes frontier. I'm talking about frontier businesses and frontier people, and frontier models. But a nation becomes frontier when you do 3 things. You get public digital infrastructure together, you bring connectivity, and you bring governance systems to scale. And that's what India is doing today with 1 billion people. India is on this trajectory. We've got our 7 foundation roles. The digital highways are in place. And our 22 million developers, and Satya spoke about the GitHub community. India's got the largest population of developers in the world. They're the ones who will now shift these 7 digital rails that we have, the digital highways, into AI-ready infrastructure. We need to move from software-defined digital rails to AI-driven digital rails, where they run with autonomous workflows, co-pilots, and agents. And folks, that day is not too far. That's how India truly becomes a frontier nation, scaling AI both through the economy and through 1 billion plus people at the same time. And it's not just about building technology. I'm a book fan, as you can see. It's another book for you folks. You should read this. Jeffrey Ding wrote this fascinating book. But he said the thesis of the book was there are 2 types of states: states that build technology, frontier technology, and states that diffuse technology. Take a guess who gets more value. States that diffuse technology. Diffusion, diffusion, diffusion. And that's one thing India is doing, folks, from classrooms to boardrooms. From classrooms to boardrooms. 92% of knowledge workers in India are using AI. Incredible to see 60% of our schools using AI tools. I was told recently 86% of higher education students in the country are using AI. India is doing this like nobody else, from classrooms to boardrooms, folks. And so those 2 things, frontier innovation and diffusion at scale, is what is moving India forward. So let's talk about frontier firms and your businesses and your programs and your departments, and how do we really make AI real for you. And by the way, we are now at a time when AI is no longer a hobby. You will now start seeing firm-level, company-level, business-level, country-level differences emerge with AI. And once you see a company around you, a business around you, a government department around you get smarter with AI, get more ROI, you will have no option but to catch up. AI used to be a top-down push 2 years ago. It's a bottom-up revolution now. And let me show you how. And that's where this concept of becoming frontier comes in. And by the way, I'm using this frontier term, so let me explain this to you. You all know frontier models, the latest models, which are always getting better, always improving. Frontier firms are the same. They're always moving forward. They're always improving. They mirror that spirit. They're human-led. They're agent-operated, going back to digital colleagues. They buy intelligence like they buy electricity. They put it to work at the center of everything and let that compound. Buy electricity, buy intelligence like electricity, put agents to work, and then let that compound. AI at the center of everything, and they scale rapidly, folks. And what makes these firms so fascinating is because they're like a time machine. There's a quote, right? The future is already here. It's not distributed yet. These are companies that are helping us distribute it. And let me show you some examples. And before that, just since we have at Microsoft the privilege of working with thousands of customers who are building AI at scale, we have some pattern recognition on this, and this is what I call the success framework. Across thousands of customers who are building AI at scale, these are the 4 areas where they're getting the most ROI. Deep focus on enriching customer experience. Get the best talent, nurture them, get the right KPIs. Ruthless focus on making real results on the customer engagement real time. N equal to 1 for customers is a possibility now for the first time. Reshape business processes, folks. You can't put AI on your old processes. You need to replumb them. And they're doing it. Make it AI first, left to right across processes. And then finally, real focus on innovation, folks. Truly bending the curve. There's a maker in each one of us. There's an innovator in each one of us. We've somehow drowned that maker. These firms are bringing that out. And by the way, the more we study it, folks, the mindset shift between technology-focused transformation to business-led transformation is where the difference is. And let me show you examples of each one of them quickly. Healthcare. There's several healthcare leaders in the room. It's a sector that's crying for innovation, folks. Patient expectations are higher than ever. 81% of the patients today are not satisfied with the healthcare they get. A third of clinicians are burned out. And in healthcare, burnout doesn't scale. We know that with doctors. A third of world's data today is generated in healthcare. Guess how much of this is used? 3%. 97% of the data is wasted. Narayana Health, Apollo that Satya spoke about are truly breaking the pattern, folks. Truly using AI. And Narayana has built this AI-driven clinical coding Real interesting Meta Analytics, which is the AI arm, using Azure OpenAI, GPT-4, really automating the end-to-end process, extraction, medical coding with speed, accuracy, consistency. Impact 40% fewer errors, 100% automated processes. This is a $20 billion medical coding industry that's being reinvented as we speak today. Clear tax, one of my favorite examples. They're simplifying tax filing in the country, educating people, overcoming the fear of taxation. Again, Azure OpenAI, generative AI agent working with them, integrated into WhatsApp, 9 vernacular languages in India. 75% of the gig workers are filing taxes for the first time in India using AI. And they're doing it themselves without any exploitation, without any problems, using AI. Paytm, again, needs no introduction. They've reimagined business processes end-to-end. They built code armor on GitHub Copilot. It's been a game changer for Paytm, and I've seen this in action, folks. They used to take 2 to 3 days to secure cloud environments. Now they're taking 2 to 3 minutes. They're reimagining the process, 2 to 3 days to 2 to 3 minutes. Incredible impact, folks. And again, really reshaping the process end-to-end, not putting this on the old process. Kisan AI, another fascinating example, folks, really breaking the language barrier in India. Partner with Microsoft to build a multilingual, voice-based AI assistant, really bringing intelligence on agriculture to every farmer in the country. Every farmer in the country. Real-time, personalized farming advice, empowering farmers regardless of their literacy level. And one of the stories I heard was fascinating. There's a farmer who said, listen, I did research on crop waste. What do I do with crop waste? And I got some really interesting ideas. And by the way, I'm now an agripreneur. I'm not a farmer. This is a real story I heard. And I was like, going back to technology for the sake of technology doesn't mean anything. It has to impact lives, and it's starting to impact lives. And it's not just businesses, folks. I obviously showed you a ton of businesses that are transforming with AI. It's our people, it's our communities, it's our platforms in India. Microsoft is home for building digital platforms, and a big thank you to all of you for the partnership. eShram, I think Satya spoke about this, empowering 300 million plus workers in the unorganized sector in India, creating job opportunities for them. Like one of the things we were talking about to the labor minister this morning is our next generation, our kids, when they choose what to do in graduation after 11th or 12th, they're flying blind. Like, it's not a data-driven decision. It's a gut feel decision. Should I take science or commerce or arts or liberal arts or whatever, based on what their friends are doing, based on what they're hearing? There's no data to tell them this is where you should go deeper, because this is where the next generation of jobs are coming. And we're going to solve this problem with eShram. eSanjeevani, 350 million consultations in the country, irrespective of which location you're in, AI-assisted clinical decisions being made, high-quality care, even to the remotest regions in the country. The Maharashtra CM dashboard, and so you're sitting here, Kaustubji, incredible work on real-time governance in Maharashtra, which is an example for every state in the country. But digital empowerment, folks, is reaching every part of Bharat, breaking language barriers, and we as Microsoft are so proud to stand. And as I said, we want to be co-pilots to AI transformation, to India's AI transformation, and it's happening now. And again, across these examples that I've shown you, Narayana and Paytm and so on and so forth, ultimately, the common thread is democratizing intelligence. I started with saying intelligence. We are manufacturing intelligence for the first time as a humankind. All of these examples are about democratizing intelligence, getting it to the hands of every employee, every person out there. This is beyond efficiency and productivity. This is not about doing the same things faster. This is about doing new things. And folks, this is about betting on humanist AI, right? Technology should be in the service of people, not the other way around. And sometimes we get that equation wrong. Human ambition at the core of it, folks. AI should amplify human creativity rather than simply automating tasks. And as Microsoft, we're supporting this with all our capabilities that we are bringing to the system, co-pilots, the agent ecosystem, cloud and AI platforms, and security, and doing this in the right way. So I've given you examples, I've told you some stories. Let me tell you a little bit of what's happening behind the curtains, if you will. And I'm going to use the rocket metaphor. I love the rocket metaphor. And 3 ways companies are going about AI transformation, every example, every story I told you. First is what I call zero-shot innovation. Make it a bottom-up revolution, get a co-pilot, get an AI agent, get an assistant in the hands of every employee so that innovation happens bottom-up, ideas come up bottom-up. It's low risk, very high impact, people get started quickly. Second is what I call earth shot. You take your toughest problems in the business, and say, how do we really solve that with AI? We spoke to a bank this morning, and they're saying, listen, they had a research and analysis division. They're saying this is our biggest problem. We've got 700 people doing it. We still don't have the insights we need. Let's solve that. Do we really need a research and analysis group at the bank, or can we have AI solve that for us? And then finally, folks, what I call the moonshot. This is the sovereign business point that Satya made as well. This is like landing on the moon, bold mindsets, real cultural transformation. And I always tell clients, technology is moving at 10x a year. We have at least 10 launches a year. Culture, if you're lucky, that 1x. And at some point, this divide will show up. So we got to solve for this. And this is not possible without what I call the foundation. And Satya spoke about data set and mindset and skill set. But if you don't do this with the right, like you have to eat your data infrastructure vegetables, folks. My mom used to tell me, eat your vegetables. You got to eat your data infrastructure vegetables. For the last 20 years, we've been solving the data problem. We still have silos. With AI, we will solve it. Mindset and skills I spoke about. But we also have to put the I back in AI. And that'll only happen if you have trust, security, and governance. And we're bringing that together. OK, so to inspire you, let's music run. Can we roll the music down? To inspire you, this presentation is not enough, so we published a book, folks, and I call this From the First Movers to Frontier Firms, 60 hero stories to really inspire you, and I'd love for all of you, we'll get you a digital copy, we'll get you a physical copy, I'd love for all of you to read this, look at these examples, to inspire yourself on how you can go about and make some of these examples that I'm talking about real. And again, customers vote with their feet, so we're so proud and humble that customers are building on Microsoft when it comes to AI. So let me pull this together, 5 things that I want to leave you with. 5 ideas or 5 calls to action. The intelligence revolution is in full flight, folks. In a couple of years, you will have sockets in the room where you can plug in and get IQ points, and people like me can really use that. But as the intelligence revolution is coming, you should go back and say, listen, how are you going to rewire your business? How will you operate in an environment where intelligence is available on tap? And what does that do to your business? Frontier firms are emerging. They're like time machine. Go back and think about how you're going to bring digital colleagues into your business. How will you work with digital colleagues? How will agents work with you? All of us will become agent bosses. Start now, folks, and think about zero-shot, earth-shot, moon-shot innovation. The India flywheel that Satya spoke about is spinning faster than ever, folks. It's spinning faster than ever. One of the largest AI build-outs in the world is happening in India. We're diffusing AI from classrooms to boardrooms. And none of us in this room are worth our salt as leaders if you're not thinking big about India. None of us are worth our salt as leaders, folks. So think big about India. Your mandate needs to be India. I spoke about AI skilling, folks. AI skilling is the new literacy. This is your only oxygen mask. It's not a hobby anymore. It's like guerrilla warfare against irrelevance every day. And you have to learn this. And one of my biggest learnings in life is you can't get fit by watching others go to the gym. I do that all the time. I don't get fit. You have to go to the gym yourself. Seriously, don't sit outside the gym in the coffee shop and watch others go in. You have to go in, folks. So and this is your oxygen mask. Get started now. And we as Microsoft are so proud to stand as a trusted partner to power 1 billion dreams, 1 billion Indians. We want to be co-pilots to India's AI transformation, and that's our mission. I'll end with where I started. Folks, we're living through a moment of reset. The world is rearranging itself. It looks different. It's rebooting itself. A new map is emerging today in the world, folks. It's not about where goods are manufactured and where value is produced. It's about where intelligence is created, but more importantly, where is intelligence diffused today? And that's where India has got a real opportunity. And then within this rearrangement lies the biggest opportunity, folks, the biggest opportunity for all of us, for the boldest builders, which is all of you in the room, each one of you. The opportunity of a lifetime is ahead of us, folks. India's digital destiny is being written now, and so is our destiny. You are the future. The future is already here. There's never been a better time to build. You are the frontier. You are the future. Let's start building. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Puneet, for articulating a bold vision of India's AI-powered future, where human ambition and intelligent systems unite to transform businesses and scale with purpose. We now continue our journey through Frontiers of Change, AI customer stories. These stories spotlight organizations across India harnessing technology to scale impact and drive inclusive growth. They reflect how AI is fueling transformation, creating opportunities, and shaping the future of our economy and society. To guide us into this next chapter, please welcome Rajiv Kumar, President and Managing Director, IDC Microsoft.
Hi. Good morning. Well, it's already good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying the learning experience from Satya's talk and Puneet's talk, and you are witnessing how the world is actually transforming, leveraging this transformative technology, AI, and trying to become a frontier organization. I'm Rajiv Kumar. I lead the engineering organization for Microsoft in India. We have almost 20,000 world-class engineers in this country that builds product. Everything that you saw today, Copilot, data, like we have engineers working from silicon to the infrastructure, to the platform, to the app layer, the model, every layer of work is happening in this country. In some sense, it is Make in India also, because it gets built, many of the things gets built in India. And I'm not here just to talk today. Our goal is that we build a long-term relationship with you and really work with you to figure out how can we help with your AI scenarios to help you transform into a frontier firm or frontier organization at a country level or frontier government at a country level or a state level. So me and Venkat and Puneet, we are discussing that this is not a one-off event. In fact, we want to meet maybe in 6 months, in May or June time frame, and then continue to work with you and listen to you and help you in your transformation journey. As an engineering leader, it's always a moment of pride when you see some of these collaborations that we do with our customers to see them become real, things in action. And two that I'm going to talk about today, I want to showcase two of the work that we have done with Apollo and eShram. See, Satya talked about and Puneet talked about this frontier organization. Frontier organizations have 3 or 4 characteristics. 3 characteristics. One is how do you empower your employees to do better, be more efficient, don't get into too much into grunt labor, right? That's one. Second is how do you make your customer interaction more personal, more real, humane, right? And the third is how do you rethink your workflow and leverage AI and make your workflows much more efficient. All these things will lead to the bending of the curve that Satya talked about. How do you make your impact more or faster or more efficient, more cost-effective? I want to basically very soon call the leader of Apollo Hospital to talk about the clinical copilot. They have done 2 AI projects, clinical copilot and RCA pilot, which really helps you. RCA is root cause analysis, so that if there's an incident that happened, how do you look at the data and quickly bring the process of root cause analysis from months to days to weeks to hours, actually. So that's one project. But today, Sangeeta Reddy, she's going to talk about the clinical co-pilot that we have co-developed with the Apollo Hospital. So I'm going to invite Sangeeta Reddy for taking you through her journey and how this solution came about. Welcome, Sangeeta. Thank you. Thank you for coming here to share your story. Sangeeta, thank you so much.
Thank you so
much. Please, yeah, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Truly a pleasure and a privilege to be here, and definitely all these difficult acts to follow. But I'm going to try and share a little bit of our story so that it brings alive some of the concepts and the technologies that have been spoken about, and really talk about the art of the possible. About 20 years ago, we had 8 hospitals, and it was one of our anniversaries, and our chairman was going to address our senior leadership. And all of us thought he's going to praise us. We've done an amazing job. We've really done something special. And he said, do you people realize that you're relevant to less than 2% of the population? How can you scale? And everyone said, sir, you know how you handpicked every doctor. You know how quality is important. And he said, yes, but find a way. And in the depth of that thought process of projects and locations and cities and people, technology kept coming back. So about 22 years ago, we began a renewed journey to bring the best technology to hasten our scaling, but anchor our quality. And that's a little bit what I'm going to talk to you about, but also about healthcare because it's relevant to everyone. So Dr. Reddy, 1983, this was the mission to bring advanced healthcare within the reach of the hospital. Today, 75 hospitals, over 200 million lives touched, but most importantly, 43 years of trust of these people, and that's what we cherish the most. The ability to bring that at scale, which brings us solutions like telemedicine, which enables capabilities like agentic AI. This is what we're trying to do with Microsoft, of moving from pure curative treatment. Many of you, even when I walked in, somebody came and said, thank you, my father's life was saved in your hospital, he's had bypass surgery. But from treatment to prevention, last year we did 2.5 million health checkups. This year we want to double that. And then to prediction of who are the most vulnerable population, because can you screen 1.5 billion people? Very difficult. Can you find the most vulnerable using AI and risk scoring and tools, and then focus on those to prevent because you have predicted? This is the new paradigm of healthcare. This is where we're trying to move. But I must say that to understand healthcare, the problems that we have, the demand for care is exploding, and 1 in 5 people are going to be over the age of 65 by the year 2030. 50% of clinicians over the world interviewed said they were feeling burnout, they were feeling stressed, they were tired. And there's over 100,000 shortage of doctors, but more importantly, there's a 17 million global shortage of healthcare workers. We need to change the way we're looking at healthcare to scale. This is a little bit of the stack that we have put together, looking at the overall enterprise stack with, M365, Microsoft Dynamics for the data. Then we moved this to the Azure cloud, got the AI services in, began to load our AI services, and then went on. And we're beginning to agentic automation. The call centers are working differently. Today we'll talk about clinician copilot. And confidential computing is enabling us to partner with global databases so that our rate of acceleration of our AI algorithms is faster and more global. But many of these are just a brief look at what can really come if we put the power of Fabric, because our data output with real-time intelligence and the Azure cloud intelligence. So we're really excited about what can happen as we visualize this healthcare world, which moves from clinics and primary care to the hospital, to post-operative care, whether it's at home or in a specialized center, and a detailed focus on the entire population through prevention, with the cloud and the AI kind of guiding this. I'm going to first go into what Clinician Copilot does, simply because these overburdened doctors need this data at their fingertips. So this is what we've managed to put together. It is really a concept of action.
At the heart of every life-saving decision is a team of medical specialists committed to patient care. But for many clinicians, valuable time is lost hunting for patient data across fragmented systems. Microsoft and Apollo apply today's technology to solve this critical problem. The Clinician Copilot, designed to serve the needs of healthcare professionals, generates a holistic picture of each presenting patient, quickly delivering the information clinicians need to inform the right course of action. As technology continues to revolutionize the medical industry, we imagine a future where AI-driven diagnostics could predict illnesses long before symptoms appear, where treatments are tailored to each individual's genetic makeup, where virtual reality accelerates training the next generation of doctors. A future where patient care is not just reactive, but proactive.
Thank you. We're looking forward to this. So you imagine a patient who has come into the emergency room, say Lakshmi, she's the mother of 2 children, she's about 40 years old. You wouldn't expect, she comes with a burning stomachache, and people will automatically think it's a gastric problem. But you look at her history, and the AI scoring, because we're storing your records, showed a risk of cardiovascular disease. So immediately then you look at her, do her blood work, elevated troponin, probably a heart attack. Should we quickly do clotbuster therapy? But again, AI comes in and looks at her data and her susceptibility. That's not the right treatment protocol for her. We need to do something else. The most talented clinicians are fixing this every day. But when you scale, how do you ensure that high quality if you're doing a hospital in Karimnagar or Kakinada or any of the hundreds of tier 3 cities. This is where quality, replicability, and scale come hand in hand when you've embedded technology and put it into the learning curve. I want to re-emphasize how difficult healthcare is because of this complexity. We have all the levels of a hotel. You have a check-in, you have a patient, you have a food service, you have all that. And then you have all the complexity of a manufacturing, because if you look at a theater environment, it's like a manufacturing. It needs to go tuck, tuck, tuck. And then you go one level further, we have science and research. Which medicine, which procedure, which size valve, which protocol, which clinician, which doctor, which combination of teams, what dosage of radiation for which patient, and 100 other scientific decisions. And therefore, all this is happening real time, and the outcome could be life or death. So where else do we need the best technology than in healthcare? And that's why we're trying to enable that we create these sensing hospitals that can track, that can sense, that is looking at this data real time, every minute. We've shown improvement in patient score because of this. When we track the patient journey using the BI, another short video
The
for you.
Apollo
This is our
Operations
command
Command
station.
Center. Connects every doctor, every care instance, coordinates every decision instantly. When one acts, all move as one. This isn't efficiency, it is empathy multiplied many times over.
Our doctors can now focus on what they can do, healing, not navigating administrative overload. Our teams spend less time managing processes and more time at the patient's site, where their presence matters most. And for our patients, they experience a hospital that anticipates their needs, reduces uncertainty, and closes every possible blind spot.
We're still at a very early stage of this journey, but the foundations have been laid, because at the heart of the hospital is our ability to also go beyond our immediate. The work we're doing in PPP, whether it's tele-ophthalmology for the government of Andhra Pradesh, we screen about 20,000 patients a day. Tele-emergencies, even all the way up to the Himalayas, and total health in our districts. In the PPP non-hospital environment, working with governments, we have touched about 23 million lives. There are various case studies that I don't have time for now. But I do want to say, I believe that this model, this Make in India, is models that we can take to the world, and that's what we're beginning to do as well. Here also, we've had tremendous impact, and Satya was talking about it with Debjani. When you embed these technologies, how are you measuring impact? We're looking at ROIs, we're looking at patients' lives saved. We're looking at the fact that you don't have a crash of a patient in the ward because you're sensing his parameters. And the AI is giving you early warning symptoms. The doctors are alerted immediately. You can take care of a crisis before it becomes a crisis. That is really the power of how we can embed this. This is what we're trying to do, and it's really a privilege to share it. We visualize a world where people used to talk about healthcare with shortages of data and various problems. But I think we look forward to a world where we're predictive about what will happen to somebody. If you're not taking your calcium at 45, at 60, you're going to have bone problems. It's things like that that we want to share with you with data, because intelligent populations who are also using Google and finding all kinds of answers. So we want to share this data with you so that it goes beyond ChatGPT. It's validated clinical information. We help in prevention. It's not generic. It's personalized to your database. It works along with you and your understanding, and it's place agnostic. Because our vision of healthcare and our design of healthcare goes from the hospital to ambulatory centers, to day surgery centers, to partner nursing homes where we're monitoring their ICUs, to homes, and finally to a 24/7 ubiquitous access to care driven by your mobile phone. These are what we hope can become the future of healthcare, because all of us should be able to dare to dream of a world where everyone has access to care, of a world where in the future this connected environment builds this capability, and people have access to care. So no longer are we building the hospital of the future. We've taken this one step further. We want to build the health system of the future in partnership with other doctors, in partnership with nursing homes, in partnership with pharma, with corporates. ONGC was here. Can we monitor the health of your people on a rig? Can we put telemedicine on a rig for you? How can we partner further? We're already in 300 corporates. Can we proactively do mental health and other testing so that if you have a diabetic, we can ensure that we're monitoring his diabetes? Many of these models can emerge, and we look forward to this participatory healthcare where we dream of healthy individuals, and when you have health, it's health and happiness at home. Thank you all very much. Namaste. Now they didn't tell me where I go.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Thank you. That was awesome. By the way, my daughter is a doctor,
Wonderful.
and I'm glad you are doing this. They are the most stressed and overworked professionals,
Absolutely.
I feel. Being an engineer is easy. I tell her, maybe should have become an engineer, but she wanted to do service. So thank you so much, Sangeeta ma'am.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Namaste.
Thank you. So that's empowering enriching your employees or your own people to be more productive and be more happier. Next, I'm going to talk about, I think I'm really excited. This next scenario, I feel very energized because it's helping hundreds of millions of unskilled or informal workers in this country to become more formal. And eShram is the platform that's providing them the visibility, helping them to learn new skills, being able to find the right job, and it's all working on Azure, using Azure AI to do the matchmaking of the skills and the skills that you learn, the background you have with the job that is available. So it's very, very encouraging to see almost 100+ million informal workers on the platform, 20 million getting skilled, 5 million providers of jobs, all working on this new platform that we have partnered with Department of Labor. So I'll invite Miss Anjali Rawat, please come over and talk about this solution that is really driving a transformation for this country for the unskilled and informal workers. Welcome, Miss Anjali. So good. Thank you so much for coming today. You got it? Okay.
So much.
Great. Thank you. Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for giving this opportunity to present a very important and a very innovative system which Ministry of Labor and Employment has built over a period of time. This serves the unorganized sector, and we have also linked this portal with the National Career Service portal, which helps to give them the basic employability and opportunities and skill development. So just to give a small background, over the years we've seen that India has the youngest population. We have 65% of the population above 35 years, and around 643 million workforce is there. So, but we have seen that this workforce lacked the identity, lacked the skilling opportunities, the employment opportunities, as well as social protection and the access to the welfare schemes. So the concept came in the minds of the officers of the Ministry of Labor and Employment, and we thought of creating a repository for the unorganized workers. This was also very important during the COVID times, as we saw that there was a lot of migration of workers from one state to another. And in the shortage of any kind of repository, we could not provide the access to the welfare schemes. So this concept of eShram was built in. eShram is India's largest repository of unorganized workers. We have 31 crore workers now on the eShram portal. When they get on the eShram portal, the process is very easy through a mobile app. We also have some physical structures available across the country through which the unorganized workers can come on the eShram portal. When they are on the eShram portal, they get a UAN number, that is the unique account number. This account number is linked with their bank. They are verified. The individual, when they come on the eShram, they are coming through an Aadhaar authentication. So we have solved one problem. We have given them an identity. So they have a UN number which runs across various schemes and various other platforms. We have created a repository. We have given them an identity. But now we need to give them opportunities. Opportunities in terms of skilling, in terms of employment, and also access to the social welfare schemes. So in 2024, the eShram was developed in 2021, just to mention. In 2024, we decided to convert into a one-stop solution. So we had a multi-stake consultation with various ministries, and we got around 18 schemes built up on the eShram portal. These 18 schemes are all the social welfare schemes. The individual, when he comes on the eShram portal, through a common application form, and according to the eligibility criteria, he can access all the 18 schemes on the eShram portal. So this becomes very easy for a person whom we don't expect to go on different platforms and get registered for a welfare scheme. We are giving everything on the same platform. Along with that, the system is multilingual. It is available in 22 languages so that the person from any part of the country can easily access this system. Along with that, the system is scalable. It is interoperable. It is built on microservice-based architecture. Along with that, now we have integrated the eShram portal with the National Career Service portal. The National Career Service portal is one-stop solution for all the career-related activities. It is a platform wherein we have around 2 crores active employees. We have around 50 lakh active and verified employers on the system. Along with that, we have 1,000 plus employment exchanges and 400 plus model career centers linked with the NCS portal. NCS is a game changer. We have a verified employee, we have a verified employer, and with the help of AI, they are able to match the right people with the right job. Now, when the two systems got connected, the eShram and the NCS portal, on the consent basis, we have around 1.8 crore workers from the unorganized sector shifting towards the NCS, that is the formal sector. Once they're on the NCS, they are able to skill themselves because we are integrated with the MSDE's portal, that is SIDH, that is a skilling portal. So a lot of skilling activities, skilling modules are available on the NCS portal. So when an individual comes on the NCS portal, he can upgrade his skill and get better employability. Along with that, NCS portal, with the help of Microsoft, we are able to build a lot of AI features into the system. We have an AI resume builder, we have an AI chatbot, we have a skill gap analysis. I, as an individual, can enter into the system and see what is my skill gap. It will give me certain prompts that if I do certain courses, I will be able to develop my skill and become better employable. So all these AI services are available in NCS portal, which is again a game changer for a lot of youth of the country. Along with that, it has multilingual support. We are also coming with the concept, as I mentioned, model career centers are there across the country. These are physical structures whose backbone is the NCS. So when an individual goes physically to these centers, they are registered on the NCS portal. And if the person is from the eShram portal, he is given and sensitized about the opportunities which are available on the NCS portal. He gets registered on the NCS portal. He is available to get all the counseling services either physically or through the portal. We have around 1,000 plus counselors which are available online on the portal itself. So we are shifting the worker from the informal sector to the formal sector. So now, when we say eShram and NCS, they are two impactful portals. eShram catering to the unorganized sectors, NCS giving them opportunities of skilling and jobs. These two systems separately are scalable, interoperable, and in the open network. But when they combine together along with the skilling platform, they become a DPI. It is a digital public good we are offering to the nation across and to the countries also. This system is a unified system now, everything on the same portal. This DPI is very important when we want to reach an individual at the last mile. So what we are doing is, we are doing a POC now with one of the foundations in Ghaziabad. We are trying to create a DPI and offer to the startups. When we give a DPI to the startup, he can map the individuals in his area, the employees and employers, and try to build that close gaps that is there. When we are not able to find the right individual at the last mile, this DPI would help them to do that. So we are offering this DPI across the country. No state would have to build their own structures, so we are saving on the cost. And with the help of all the AI features which are available, the system becomes very robust. This is followed by a small video. Whatever I have said as a DPI, this video will make it more clear. So you can have a look on the video, and then thank you so much for this.
Across the world, nations are seeking digital systems that speak to each other, scale with purpose, and serve every citizen. India's digital public infrastructure shows how. Together, NCS and eShram form the backbone of India's digital public infrastructure, or DPI, for labor and employment, an interconnected, interoperable ecosystem. Not just systems, built for people. Technology that's scalable, inclusive, and built for the world. These platforms are not just successful, they are shareable. Built on cutting-edge architecture and designed for adaptability, they include modular, microservices-based frameworks, cloud-agnostic deployment models, open APIs for integration with ID, social protection and financial systems, multilingual and voice-enabled features for accessibility, strong security and privacy aligned with global standards. What makes them powerful is not just the code, but the way they are built to solve real problems for real people. Now, India is offering this proven technology to countries that need it most across the globe as a digital public goods, open, adaptable, and human-centered. India's offering to partner nations includes customizable source code and full technical documentation, deployment support through knowledge exchange and technical handholding. Partner countries may host the applications on their own cloud infrastructure, ensuring full data sovereignty. Capacity building and training, localization kits, language packs, UI templates, and policy adaptation guides. Optional demonstration environments for orientation and configuration testing. Global benefits that go beyond technology. Rapid time to deployment. Go live in under 6 months. Lower costs. Save years of development and millions in resources. Inclusive access. Works even in low digital and low literacy contexts. Seamless integration. Compatible with national ID and welfare systems. Transparent service delivery. Bring insurance, pensions and benefits to informal workers. Migration readiness. Support for cross-border worker mobility and safety. Data-driven insights. Forecasting. Policy planning, skill development. Fraud prevention. Secure verified job markets. Global partnership. Co-develop shared systems for shared progress. Future-ready upgrades. AI career nudges. Digital credentials and portable worker profiles. India is not exporting software. It is sharing a blueprint for inclusive governance, and one that's ready to help other nations do the same. Under the patronage and mentorship of our Honorable Prime Minister, NCS and eShram are global public goods, and now they are ready for the world. Join us in building a future of dignified work, social protection and economic opportunity for everyone, everywhere. India's own digital innovation for the world. People first, open source, future ready.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajiv Kumar, Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, and Anjali Rawat. Today's conversations remind us that India's progress is not just technological, it is deeply human. From public infrastructure to healthcare, from workforce enablement to next generation systems, each story we heard today reinforces one truth. This is India's moment to lead. To close this keynote segment and set the stage for the rest of the day's learning and collaboration, please welcome Venkat Krishnan, Executive Director, Public Sector, Healthcare, Education, Microsoft India.
Thank you. It's been an absolute privilege to host this distinguished gathering of senior dignitaries, customers, and our partners. Your presence here reflects a shared commitment to shaping India's AI-powered future. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few key highlights. You heard Satya Nadella speak about Microsoft's vision for an AI-powered future and how governments can use AI to really deliver citizen-scale services at impact and at the same time ensure it's a matter of inclusive growth. Puneet Chandok spoke about what it takes to build a frontier organization powered by AI. And Rajiv Kumar brought it to life with real-life customer showcases from Dr. Sangeeta Reddy of Apollo Group and Ms. Anjali Rawat from the Ministry of Labor and Employment. Our entire Microsoft team is here to build on some of these discussions as it relates to your environment. We're going to now break for lunch. Lunch is being served just outside of this hall. Post that, we've got round tables, and I encourage you to participate in them. These are round tables that are chaired by Microsoft leaders from Microsoft Research and Microsoft Engineering, and we really look forward to having a meaningful discussion with all of you. With that, I want to thank you once again for joining us, and I think that's a great opportunity for all of us to build an AI-powered future for India. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you, Venkat. Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite you to join us for lunch. A curated selection of cuisines has been arranged for you just outside the hall. Please feel free to explore the space, connect with fellow attendees, and engage with our teams as you prepare for the breakout sessions that follow. We hope you enjoy your meal and the conversations ahead.